afternoon and welcome to Women in Business World Summit for this very special interview that we had with, it's a very informal and intimate interview that we had with Dr. Shirin Ebadi, which is a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Before going into the interview, I would like to just give you some context of information about who she is and also context about her work so that it gives you some idea what she has been doing for the past many years and what she is an advocate of. So very quickly, Dr. Shirin Ebadi was awarded in 2003 the Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts to promote human rights, in particularly the rights of women, children, and political prisoners in Iran. She's the first Muslim woman to receive the Nobel Peace Prize and only the fifth Muslim to receive a Nobel Prize in any field. Dr. Ebadi was one of the first female judges in Iran. She served as the president of the City Court of Tehran from 1975 to 1979 and was the first Iranian woman to achieve Chief Justice status. She, along with other women judges, were dismissed from that position after the Islamic Revolution in February of 1979. She was made a clerk in the court she had once presided over until she petitioned for an early retirement. After obtaining her lawyer's license in 1992, Dr. Ebadi set up a private practice. As a lawyer, she has taken on many controversial cases and defending political dissidents, and as a result has been arrested numerous times. In addition to being an internationally recognized advocate for human rights, she has also established many non-governmental organizations in Iran, including the Million Signatures Campaign, a campaign demanding an end to legal discrimination against women in Iranian law. She is also a university professor, and often students from outside Iran take part in her human rights training courses. She has published over 70 articles and 13 books dedicated to various aspects of human rights. And in 2004, she was named by Forbes magazine as one of the 100 most powerful women in the world. In 2006, she, along with sister laureate Jody Williams, both of them took the lead in establishing the Nobel Women's Initiative. Now, I want to spend a little time here just sharing about the Million Signatures campaign. Before interviewing Dr. Shirin Ebadi, I took some time to understand her work, read out about what she's been an advocate of, and some of the cases that she was representing, and to just have read all the work that she's done and the people and the hardship that women had to go through in her country is, when I first read it, was pretty devastating. I just want to give you a context of some of the laws that the unjust laws in Iran right now, a couple of them, but if you want to read more, you can go to www.campaignforequality.info and you will be able to read more about all the laws that are available there. In addition, you can sign on the petition for the 1 million signatures. All right. Just very quickly, a couple of laws to highlight to you. What's interesting is, take for example, age of criminal responsibility. The age of criminal responsibility for girls is 9 years old, or more so 8 years and 9 months, and for boys is 15 lunar years, which is 14 years and 6 months. So basically what this means is, if a girl at 9 years old commit a crime, she will be treated just an adult and will be treated with all the penal laws applicable to her. Okay. Another law, which is called the blood money, diya, is the amount of money a murderer or one who has inflicted grievous bodily harms pay the victims of their family. So in Iranian law, a woman's life is considered to be worth half that of a man. Yep, half that of a man. So basically what it means, if a brother and sister are hit by a car on the street and both have broken legs, the compensation the brother receives is double that of a sister. In the interview, you will hear as well a case that she took on, Layla, and how they were wanting to get retribution, and she shares a little bit about the blood money. Another thing that when I first read this, utterly shocked. I would use the word shocked. One of the laws is that laws that support honor killings. So in the law, it says that it gives a man permission to kill his wife whenever he sees her in bed with another man, and the law will not punish this man. This law in the hands of men has allowed men to kill women. As an example, 20% of killings in Iran are killings with a motive related to sexuality or unchastity. Now, what is shown, research has shown that 90% of men who have killed their wives did it because of mistrusting their spouse and imagined offenses. So basically it's imagined, it's not true. They just suspected so, and they can get out. They can go to court and just claim that, and the law allows them to walk away freely. So these are some of the laws that it is still in place today in Iran and at this day and age. So I just want to give you some context of the work that she's been doing. She's been representing individuals, more specifically women in Iran, representing them in court. In addition, I just also want to take time to highlight while I was looking through her work and reading up about 1 million signatures demanding changes to the laws in Iran. Right now, there's a petition for the government, to reform and revise the laws that are discriminating against women. And in reference to the 1 million signature petition that they are having right now for this year's International Women's Day, 160 human rights defenders demand the release of imprisoned Iranians, WHRDS, Baharat Hidayah and Mariam Shavipur. So basically what this petition is to demand the release of these two young women who has been defending the women's human rights in Iran. For more information, you can go to the website again, campaignforequality.info, to read more about it. Is for me, when I read about it, my heart was really heavy and saddened by what's going on with them. Basically, they have been Baharat has been imprisoned for 10 years in relation to her being a student and a women's rights activist, and Mariam has been in prison for 7 years, and apparently right now Baharat is really unwell, and she hasn't been given any medical attention to her health currently. So in support of Dr. Shirin's work, and especially as a woman, I think this is a great opportunity for us to come together, hold our hands, and be the voice for this woman and these two women, and also the voice for all the other women all around the world. So once again, thank you for listening in, thank you for your participation, and I hope that after listening to the interview, you'll be as inspired as I am to be the voice and to speak your voice. And for this interview, we hired an interpreter to do the interview, to interpret our conversation with Dr. Shirin Ebadi, because she only speaks Persian. And what we have done as well, we had to, after recording the session, we had to get another individual to re-record the session that was done by our interpreter to protect his identity, so that you're aware. So enjoy the interview. One of the questions that we want to know is, being her background and staying in Iran, she's faced a lot of challenges. Could she share a little bit about what gave her that courage to go through face the obstacles?
مسئله مهم این است که آدم به کاری که میکنه اعتقاد قلبی داشته باشه و این به آدم نیرو میده که ادامه بده. ضمن اینکه من مسلمان هستم و به وجود خدا اعتقاد دارم و این به من یک نیروی اضافی برای نبرد با چیزهایی که درست نمیدانند به من میداد.
The most important thing is to have a heart in what you are doing. It will give you courage and power to continue. I also believe in God and I'm a Muslim, and this gives me an additional power to face the unknown and the things that I'm not aware of in advance.
While she was going through the challenges, she mentioned about God and belief. Is there anything else that supported her in her journey?
مسئله بسیار مهم این است که من در یک خانواده مسلمان مدرن به دنیا آمدم و پدر و همسر من همیشه همراه و مشوق من بودند.
The important thing is what I've been taught in my Muslim family. My father and my husband has always been my support and advisors as well.
What challenges did you face as the first female judge in Iranian justice? And what word of advice would you give to women globally facing challenges and obstacles on their own?
زمانی که من قاضی بودم قوانین ایران به این بدی نبود و ما قوانین بهتری داشتیم. من در دادگاه‌های خانواده و همچنین دعاوی سیویل کار می‌کردم و قوانین ما در اون موقع خوب بود و از حیث اجرای قانون مشکلی نداشتم.
When I was a judge in Iran, we had better laws, and I was mainly active in the field of family laws and civil cases. And because the law and legislation are altogether better, I did not really have much problem or challenge in implementing the law and issuing verdict accordingly.
اما فراموش نکنید که به هر حال فرهنگ پدرسالار در مشرق زمین قوی‌تره و به همین دلیل من به عنوان یک زن بایستی خیلی بهتر کار می‌کردم از یک قاضی مرد تا بتوانم خودم را جا بیاندازم.
And you should not forget that the patrimonial law in the Eastern countries are stronger. These are male chauvinistic countries. But as a woman judge, I was able to work in Iran, especially in the field where I used to practice.
و در حقیقت با توجه به اینکه من شاگرد اول دوره حقوق خودم بودم و همچنین واقعا بیش از یک همکار مرد کار میکردم، این بود که خیلی در حقیقت من رو قبول کردم جامعه مرد سالار اون موقع و من از جهت اینکه جامعه و همکاران من رو قبول بکنن به این دلایل مشکلی نداشتم.
Since I was a top student in my law class, the male students have already accepted me as a hard-working law practitioner and also think I work harder than the men. I did not really have much problem. I was accepted by everyone.
و توصیه من به زنان این است که اگر در جایی احساس کردید که به علت زن بودن شما رو قبول نمی کنند، راه حلش این است که لیاقت خودتون و خلاقیت خودتون رو به اثبات برسونید. اون موقع مجبور میشن که به شما احترام بگذارن و به کارتون احترام بگذارن.
My advice for women who are not well respected by men of how good they are, they should show their merits. Then they will win the respect of their fellow male practitioners, which they deserved.
I know I've been reading, so you can answer this question next. I've been reading the website, and recently, one of the students has been withheld because of her movement in supporting Iranian women. Despite that she's a student, she has married, but I know the laws has been very against her. I think my question is, how can we work together in support of helping Iranian women and also women all over the world to attain equality? So as a global community, what can we do to support Iranian women and also women all over the world to attain equality?
مهمترین مسئله این است که اخبار زنان، مشکلات اونها و همچنین خلاقیت زنان رو در رفع مشکلات مطرح کنیم.
The important thing is women should show that they deserve the position they obtain, and they should be creative and innovative in what they do so that they would be able to win the respects of their colleagues.
One of the things she said earlier was it's important for women to shine and have confidence, right? You were met with a lot of opposition. How did you handle it, and what advice would you give to women also facing adversity or challenges in their life?
مهمترین مسئله این است که ابتکار عمل به خرج بدن برای اینکه بتوانند بقیه رو با خودشون همراه بکنند، برای اینکه هرچی تعداد طرفداران یک فکر بیشتر باشه امکان به موفقیت رسیدن بیشتره.
It is important to show the creativity and innovatives in what they do. They will win the support of others. The more support they have, the chances for success will increase.
Another question is, as a mother, how did you balance bringing up your children and participating fully as a human rights activist, lecturer, lawyer, and a Nobel Peace Prize laureate?
من نه تنها وکیل بودم بلکه در دانشگاه تدریس میکردم و 14 کتاب هم نوشتم و معمولا از من سوال میکردن که چطور به این همه کار فرصت میکنی برسی و من یک پاسخ ساده برای اونها داشتم.
I have been a lawyer and at the same time I was teaching at the university. I have written 14 books. I was always asked how I could do all these things together at the same time, and I always had a very simple answer.
بهشون گفتم شبانه روز 24 ساعته، یعنی شما 24 ساعت در اختیار دارید و خیال میکنید که کمه. مسئله مهم این است که انسان مدیریت زمان داشته باشد، یعنی بتواند چگونه از این 24 ساعت مفید استفاده کنه و بین کار بیرون از منزل یعنی کارهای اجتماعی و مادری هیچ تناقضی نیست. یک زن لایق هم میتواند مادر خوبی باشد و هم یک فعال مفیدی برای اجتماع.
My answer was that there's 24 hours around the clock, and 24 hours is a lot of time, and you should not think that 24 hours is a little time and not enough. The important point here is to manage time properly. That is to say, one should be careful to make the best of his or her time. There is no contradiction between one work at home, one's personal life, and one work outside the home. So, a good woman can be both a good mother and can also be an active person in the society, a good activist in the society.
Thank you. Describe to us your life in Iran as a woman, and how can we further support women as a global community?
زنان در هر منطقه با مشکلات خاصی مواجه هستند. ریشه همه این مشکلات در یک چیزه و اون فرهنگ پدرسالار. فرهنگ پدرسالار در برخی از کشورها به صورت قوانین تبعیض‌آمیز خودش نشون میده.
Women in every region face particular problem, and the root cause of all these problems are one, that is the patriarchy culture. The patriarchy culture in some society is translated into discriminatory laws.
در برخی از کشورها به صورت خشونت علیه زنان.
In some parts of the world, it has been translated into violence against women.
در برخی از زنها به صورت عدم تساوی در دستمزد. در برخی از کشورها به صورت یعنی سوء استفاده از بدن زن، قاچاق زن و همچنین سوء استفاده از آنها در تبلیغات. بنابراین اون چه که مهمه ما بایستی با ریشه یعنی با فرهنگ پدرسالار مقابله بکنیم.
In some part of the country, it has turned into inequality in wages and salary. In some part of the country, it has turned into abuse of women, the body of women, smuggling of women, and also it turned into the use of women for advertising purposes. What is important is for us to fight against the root cause of the problem, which is the patriarchy culture.
You can let her know I am from Malaysia, so it's a Muslim country, and now live in Toronto. So can understand some of the issues she's talking about. Yet at the same time, she had a lot of courage to follow her heart and defying law. I would like to hear for her, for those who are still in those communities, like the more challenged communities or country, how or what they can do as steps to move this, because she said to fight the patriarchy culture. So what from her experience and from what she's been doing for so many years, what can they do as their initial steps or first steps, or the women who wants to take action to move this forward?
مهمترین مسئله شناسایی این فرهنگ. زنها باید این فرهنگ رو بشناسن و عملکردهای مختلف اون رو بدونن تا متوجه بشن که چگونه بایستی مبارزه بکنن.
The important thing for women is to identify this form of culture, to learn and to analyze it. If they do so, then they will know how to start and how to proceed.
به عنوان مثال در کشورهای اسلامی اگر یک دختری رابطه قبل از ازدواج با مردی رابطه داشته باشه، این خوب نیست و خانواده اون رو منع میکنه، مادر دعواش میکنه. اما اگر همین کار رو پسر خانواده انجام بده به عنوان اینکه پسر ما خیلی طرفدار داره توی زنها، باهاش برخورد میشه، به اون چشم نگاه کرده میشه، این در حقیقت نگاه دوگانه به یک مسئله نشان از فرهنگ پدرسالاره.
An example I can give you is when a girl is about to get into a premarital relationship with boy, she will be rebuked and blamed. While if the boy were to have a premarital relationship, the family would always say, well, our son has got plenty of fans among women. The boy is even being encouraged, while the girl is being rebuked by her mother. This is one example of a sign of a patriarchy society and culture that discriminate women, where boys and girls being treated differently in a similar situation.
Wow. When I read your bio on NobelPrize.org, I actually became very emotional, especially when I was reading about the families that you represented.
من پرونده های زیادی رو دفاع کردم و میتونم بگم مشهورترین دعاوی ایران به وسیله من دفاع شده.
I have been involved in many cases. I can say that most renowned and the most famous cases are the ones where I have defended.
اما فکر میکنم منظور ایشون یک پرونده است به نام لیلا فتحی، یک دختر 11 ساله‌ای که بهش تجاوز کردن و بعد کشتنش و به موجب قانون ایران که تفسیر غلطی است از اسلام اینطور میگوید که اگر مردی زنی رو بکشه نصف دیه مرد رو بایستی قبل از مجازات بهش بدن و بعد اون رو قصاص کنن و طبق قانون به این خانواده گفته بودن که یک پولی بایستی بده تا قاتل بچهشون مجازات بشه. من وکالت این خانواده رو قبول کردم و از طریق این دعوا به مردم نشون میدادم که قانون چقدر غیر عادلانه است.
Maybe you're referring to the case of Layla Fatiq. She was an 11-year-old girl who was raped and then killed. According to the Iranian law, which is an erroneous, giving the wrong image of Islam, the following is being said. If a man killed a woman, then half of the blood money from the woman's family is to be paid to the man so that they can be retributed. And based on this law, the family of the girl have to pay half of the blood money of the man before they could ask for retribution. I accepted to represent this family, the family of the girl, and I was trying to show how unequal and how unfair the law is.
Yeah, I actually went to her site, one of the site, the Million Signatures, and read about all the laws about how how it is towards women. For example, I think she talked about honor killing and blood money and marriages and divorce. Can you just tell her that I actually felt so touched by her work, and actually so much awareness needs to be brought to the world who we are not aware such laws exist. It makes me cry, and really it hurts to see women are treated differently. So thank her for doing what she does, by actually us having to look at that opportunity to interview her has brought a lot of awareness for us. So we invited her because we see what she does, and I think two things we want to ask her now. One is, what advice or what inspiration she can give to other women out there who is listening into this interview. That question first, and I'll ask the second one.
توصیه من این است که اعتماد به نفس زنها دو مسئله بایستی در زندگی همیشه داشته باشند. یکی اعتماد به نفس و یکی استقلال اقتصادی. و به همین دلیل است که توصیه من این است که زنها میبایستی بیرون از خانه شاغل باشند و رشته‌ای رو تحصیل بکنند که بتواند برای اونها که در بازار کار شغل ایجاد بکنه. زنی که برای خرید لباس یا احتیاجات خودش از شوهرش پول میگیره هیچ وقت نمیتونه استقلال فکری خودشو داشته باشه.
I believe that women should have two things. One is self-confident and the other is financial independent. My advice for women is they should go and work outside their house. They should go and study in the field where they can create for themselves a job. A woman who receives money to buy her clothes, a woman who asks her husband for money to buy her clothes and cover her needs can never be independent and cannot have an independent mind.
I have a question. Many women, I feel that maybe they don't stand up and they don't shine out of fear of retribution, that they might become a martyr for it. What is some advice you can give them so that they feel more confident standing up and speaking their mind?
مشکلات انسان رو اضافه میکنه. تکرار میکنم، اعتماد به نفس رو در زنها باید تقویت کرد.
Fear will add to the problem. Therefore, I will repeat, women should enhance their self-confidence.
Thank you. And the last question that I wanted to ask is, she has mentioned about it's important for women to have self-confidence to be financially capable of taking care of themselves. And in closing of the last question, you know, I like I mentioned, I'm touched by her work, and it seems like there's so much more to do as well. What's a few things that we can do now in support of her work, or bring it out to the world? The question is, what we, my organization, we as and the people who are listening in can do, or what the few steps to do in support of her work, the work that she's been doing all this while.
خیلی از توجه شما ممنونم. شما می توانید گزارش های ماهیانه من رو در مورد حقوق بشر در ایران و همچنین سایت های NGO های من رو لینک بدید که من اینها رو براتون میفرستم به همون ایمیلی که از شما دارم.
Thank you very much. What you can do is to publish and spread the monthly human rights report that I've prepared, and you can also give the link to my NGO that I have, and I will send you the link via email.
Okay, thank you, and we will definitely do that in support of her work. Yana, anything else before we end the formal interview?
I'm very happy to be on the call with everyone.
من هم از اینکه این فرصت به من داده شد بتوانم صحبت بکنم سپاسگزارم و آرزوی موفقیت برای همه شما و زنان جهان دارم.
I'm also grateful for the opportunity granted to me in this interview, and I wish success for you and all the women in the world.
Our summit, we are actually focusing more on women in business. We believe business is another way for us to bring equality back and peace back to the world. And what she says about self-confidence and financial capabilities really resonate with what we are doing. So thank you for giving us that vision, and thank you for being a hero for women all over the world. Without someone like you who shows the way, the others, we don't know what to do. So thank you again. So thank her again for her time and contribution. We really appreciate it. And I will send her this a recording once it's done. Anything she wants to say before we go?
خیلی ممنونم. منم خوشحالم صحبت کردم و خدا نگهدار شما.
I also would like to thank you and wish you farewell.
Okay, so thank you. And how do you say farewell in your language, in Persian? Khoda Hafiz?
خدا حافظ.
Khoda Hafiz.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, thank you for listening into this recording, and my invitation for you is, once again, I love what Dr. Shirin Ebadi said. The two things that women can do is be confident and also to have financial independence, which is where Women in Business World Summit comes in. Our goal is to support you to be self-sufficient, create a sustainable and conscious business. And of course, definitely believing in yourself, that you can be the one that makes the difference. You can be the person, and together we can create a world that works 100% of the time for 100% of humanity. So once again, thank you for listening in. And as we say it here, the Women in Business World Summit is creating world peace through business. When you educate a woman, you educate a generation. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.